couple years ago, I played a show in a small town by the Michigan Lake, and there were 8 women from Okinawa. So I just couldn't fake it. Okay, I'm going to do one more piece and I'll take a short animation and you can get some refreshments and coffees. I wrote this next piece in a small town in West Virginia called Marlington, Marlington. And this town is in a county named Pocahontas County. And this Pocahontas County is a very rural county and pretty isolated place. But at the same time, it's a beautiful place, lots of wilderness left. And I played at the opera house there, built in 19th century. Lots of American small towns have similar places. Local people renovate all the historic building to a nice venue. And this Pocahontas opera house is also one of them. And after the show, I was talking to the manager of the opera house. Her name is Bryn. Bryn was 37 years old back then when I played there several years ago. And she said to me, if you have time tomorrow morning before you go to next destination, why don't you come to my house? Because I live in the mountain and I want to show you around this area. And I said, okay, sure. But the thing is, this place doesn't have any phone service, phone receptions, which means my GPS, my iPhone doesn't work. So she wrote the map on the paper and she gave me a map. Next morning, I started driving with the paper she wrote, and shortly after, I got lost. But I kept driving and climbing up the mountain, and I found her house in the middle of nowhere. And when I got there, I was thinking, does she live here by herself? And she must have some reasons, but I didn't ask her. because that was my second day meeting her. Anyway, I came into her house and we had a little conversation. And at some point, she said to me, let's go to the walk. So we started walking into the forest. And as we walked, she was talking about the history of the place. And she picked up a stone. When she flipped the stone, there was a fossil on the other side of the stone. And she said that this place was the bottom of the water long time ago. And we kept walking again, about 15 minutes or so, and we got to the hill. And she said to me, if you don't mind, I'd like to go up to the top together. And when I looked, it was pretty high. But we started walking. As we got to the top of the hill, there was a tall tree. And from that tree, there was a bell hanging. And she rang the bell only once. And it was such a beautiful moment because the sound of the bell just kept ringing through the hills. But at the same time, I asked her, I don't see anybody here. Who put this bell? And she said, this is what I did. And she started talking her personal story. I had a son. His name was Sam. Sam was born at the local hospital. And we came back to this house. But about a week later, Sam died here. And husband at the time, and I carried him. We brought our son to the top of the hill. We dug a hole and we buried him underneath this tree. And after that, we put this bell above him. And after hearing that story, I just couldn't say any words because I just didn't expect that kind of story. And I also have kids too. But the brain kept talking. If Sam is alive, he's 9 years old this year. And I'm 37, and I'm still young. And I might be able to find another future. But so far, I really don't know. But I know I have to keep going. My life is still continuing. But I still can't leave this place yet. So what I can do is I try to bring different performers from different places to bring different culture and music in this mountain community. And after I heard the story, I wrote this piece. I named this piece as Sounds, Hill, and Sky.